Hey, and welcome to more Post to Post. We're back ranking some flags. We did the U.S. state flags and U.S. state and territory flags. If you haven't seen that, please go check it out. We had a lot of fun doing that. It's a long video because there's a lot of flags, but we had a ton of fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Trying to figure out the meaning behind the flags. It wasn't an educational video, just like this one's not an educational video. We're just having genuine conversation about the flags and trying to figure out what's going on. We're going to do that today with the Canadian provincial flags. Now, the majority of viewers on this channel and our main channel, Post to Post, are American. We are Canadian. We live in Canada. We live in Prince Edward Island. So this video is a little bit more closer to home to us. We get to talk a little bit about ourselves. So we're pretty excited about that. There's 13. There's 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada. And so I didn't just do the 10 provinces. I did all 13. So
right on.
I've ranked them my least favorite to favorite, and that's the order we're going to go from 13 to 1. You ready to begin?
I am ready to begin.
All right, let's do it.
Alrighty.
Number 13, the worst flag. In my opinion, again, this is subjective. There's no right or wrong here. You can have your favorites. List them down in the comments. No need to get angry, but 13, I've ranked Prince Edward Island. Now, where do we live?
Prince Edward Island.
Yeah. So we live in Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
And I just do not like this flag. It's the elongated creature at the top.
The stretchy lion.
The stretchy lion. He's just, I don't know. The tail is weird. His body structure is weird. He has a lot of like weird things coming off his legs. The tree, I don't know. It's confusing and boring in my opinion. I don't understand what the white squares are at the top and along the side. Again, this isn't an educational video. I'm sure there's reasoning behind a lot of this stuff, but I'm just looking at this and telling you how I feel.
And not knowing this was coming up today as a task for me to participate in, I didn't do any reading or research as to the reasons behind some of these design issues. But
how do you feel about this flag?
Not crazy about it. It has an old-fashioned, not with the times kind of look.
It just feels random.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just feels random to me. But
and it's almost like they said, well, we got to put a lion in because it's part of heraldry or something.
Yeah.
And we're an island, so let's draw an island and let's put a couple of trees on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more to it than that when it really happened, but that's all it looks like what happened.
Yeah. All right, number 12.
Manitoba?
Manitoba, yeah. There's 2 flags that look very similar in Canada. Ontario and Manitoba. Manitoba has, to the right here, there's this little crest, which looks to be a bison or a buffalo or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty, it's just, I mean, they've got the, what do you call that?
It's the Union Jack.
Union Jack up on the top left.
Yeah.
The rest of it's red, just with the little crest. A little boring. If you go to the next one, which is number 11, Ontario, it's the exact same flag, just with a different crest with some maple leaves on there. So, I mean, they're basically the same flag, so I put them back to back. Really have no preference over the other, just whatever. So, would like to see something unique from both of those provinces in the future if they decide to redesign. But that's why they're 11 and 12. Number 10.
Oh.
Nova Scotia. You like this one?
I do.
Why?
Well, it's the flag. It's the Cross of St. Andrews. The previous 2, by the way, are the Cross of St. George on top of the little crest. Cross of St. Andrews, which is the Scottish flag, and Nova Scotia is Latin for New Scotland, so it makes sense that they would do it that way.
That does make sense, yeah.
And you've got your thriller guy in the middle.
This is the part where I start to like the flags. So from 10 on, I would say that I like all the flags. From 11, 12, and 13, I don't like the flags.
Okay.
I do like this, but it's just a cross. Yeah. I like the colors. I like blue. Blue's my favorite color, but nah. Number 9. This is
Is it Yukon or Northwest
Northwest Territories.
Northwest Territories, sorry. My apologies.
So this kind of is like the Canadian flag, where you have a solid color on each side and then the white in the middle with something. And you've got what looks to be, I mean, that's a funny drawing of this wolf or dog or husky or whatever it is. It looks a little comical, but I know, like, you can tell what it is.
Yeah.
I assume that's water.
I would think so.
On top. And
the serrated top could be mountains.
Could be mounds, yeah. I'm not sure what the green and yellow, the yellow squares and the green.
I'm not entirely sure either.
But yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
Number 8. This is Yukon.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing Yukon license plates.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I was expecting, but that's not what I see.
No, so we have a husky on top there.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Down below is probably the provincial flower or whatever, or not provincial. Territorial flower, whatever. 2 different colors on the sides, which is neat.
Yeah.
And then this, I don't even know what that represents in the middle. Kind of looks like a road, like an endless road a little bit, but
right.
I know it's probably not, but it looks to be some mountains there as well. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Pretty cool.
Number 7, Alberta. Very simple. Kind of like Ontario, Manitoba, but they get rid of the Union Jack on the top left, just made it solid blue, and made their crest a little bit bigger. And I like it. You can see some corn. It looks to be corn or wheat, not corn, wheat. Down in the bottom there. Some mountains, some hills. Makes sense. If
Alberta.
you've ever been to Alberta, then you know exactly what's going on.
Alberta's all prairie in the center and the east, and mountainous in the far west of Alberta, and that captures all of the geography quite well.
Big fan of that province.
Yeah.
Number 6, Quebec. We see this flag a lot because, well, you grew up in Quebec.
I did.
I grew up in New Brunswick, right next to Quebec, and drove through Quebec many times. We have a lot of Quebecers visit here in Prince Edward Island. A lot of people from everywhere, really. Prince Edward Island's a huge tourist depot.
And there's people who live in Quebec who want to go from one part of Quebec to another part of Quebec, and they actually go through Prince Edward Island to do it.
That's correct, yes.
So that's another reason why we probably see more Quebec transit than normally you otherwise would, because there's a group of islands that belong to Quebec, but the only ferry, not the only ferry, but the cheapest ferry to those islands is from here in Prince Edward Island to get there, in the Magdalen Islands. So. And
yeah, it's just a flag I've been exposed to the majority of my life, and I like it. Blue's my favorite color, like I said earlier.
Yeah, and the fleur-de-lis has very close connections with French royalty, because when Quebec became part of the British Empire after the war in 1763, and the peace was signed, France was still a royalty. It was still a monarchy, and only after the Revolution did it change. Its went to the tricolor and all that. So this is a throwback to really pre-revolutionary times in France as well.
And you see this in other places around the world too, even in the United States. I think St. Louis has a connection to some France or French history, as well as New Orleans.
Yeah, Louisiana, the whole state really is.
So it's a lot of people show their respect to this. It's symmetrical too. It's
gotta like that. Gotta like that.
Number 5.
Ah,
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
This is very unique. Usually, you see flags with stripes this way. You don't really see flags with stripes the other way.
Yeah.
I love that they split that, and they probably have their provincial flower. I have no idea what flower that is. A tiger lily or something. I have no idea. I don't
have a clue.
And then they have their crest up on the top left. It's cool. It's unique. I really like the colors. It totally makes sense. It's a prairie, lots of farming, lots of colors very similar to this. So I like it.
That lion looks similar to the PEI one. Not
Very
quite as
similar.
stretched out, but
Yeah.
the tail with the weird spikes coming off it and the weird things on the feet.
Yeah.
It obviously is important, but
Number 4.
Newfoundland.
Yeah. We see this a lot as well, just because we're so close to Newfoundland. And it's simple. You can see there's shapes of blue, there's shapes of red. but in that negative space of the white, it's also making some shapes across. It's coming in.
Newfoundland's flag, until only a decade or two ago, was the Union Jack. The entire Union Jack was the flag of Newfoundland.
I did not know that.
And that is the new flag of Newfoundland that was designed to pay homage to the original design. So you can see a bit of the Union Jack underlaid there.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
And also to just really bring it up to date and make it an individual flag for that territory, or that jurisdiction, that province, as opposed to copying some other flag and using it too. One thing that also happened around the same time was the official designation of the name of the province of Newfoundland became Newfoundland and Labrador.
Right.
And so the legal entity that now comprises the entire province is now called Newfoundland and Labrador. Labrador is that part of it that's on the mainland near, well, bordering Quebec.
That's right.
Newfoundland exists as the island of Newfoundland. So it bothers me a little bit sometimes when people say Newfoundland and Labrador, but they really don't mean Labrador. Like, I'm going to St. John's. Oh, St. John's, Newfoundland? Yes, St. John's, Newfoundland. That's actually the right answer. You're not going to St. John's, Newfoundland, and Labrador unless you're going to the jurisdiction. But if you're just going to the island,
I agree.
You're just going to Newfoundland.
I
Like,
agree.
don't tag Labrador on all the time. It's not always appropriate all the time. Sorry, Labrador. Sorry.
No.
You're great, but you're not always in the room. Okay?
Maybe they need their own flag.
Oh, they wouldn't want that. I don't think. Quebec has claimed Labrador, by the way,
Have they?
and I don't know if they've yet relinquished their claim.
That doesn't surprise me.
Moving on.
Number 3.
British Columbia.
British Columbia. This is a beautiful flag.
Yeah.
Negatively, it's very busy, extremely busy. There's a lot to look at, but positively, the colors are amazing. You get the sun there. It's the province with the best weather. So, although I think it rains a lot.
It rains a lot, yeah. That thing at the bottom of the flag,
Yeah.
you never see one. They have to put it on the flag, because otherwise they'd never know what one was.
Exactly. You get the crown there at the top, showing some royalty, and yeah, it's just, I like how colorful it is. I like it's just boom in your face. It's very recognizable to Canadians that's British Columbia. Anything else to add?
No, I agree with it all.
Number 2.
Nunavut.
Yes, Nunavut. Man, this flag is awesome.
It's
just,
beautiful.
Like, it's so simple.
It is
You've got
beautiful.
this, what do they call it?
Well, the ones with 2 bottoms are called an Inukshuk.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's an Inukshuk, if it only has 1 base or not, but that's what I think of when I see that.
So we see a lot of this in Canada, even here on Prince Edward Island. If you
Stacks
go for
of
a
stone.
hike,
Yeah.
you'll find stacking of rocks. It's just what some people do. And
It's better than leaving graffiti.
Yes, very. Yeah, we actually made some of these on our hike.
Did you?
The other weekend. Yeah.
There you go.
It's really cool. It's totally unique from any other flag in Canada. It's boom. It's right in the middle. So you got the yellow and the white, same amount of both colors. Star in the top there, and it's a place that sees a lot of sunlight for an extended period of time, and a lot of darkness for an extended period of time. The winters are very dark
And long.
and long, and the summers are very bright and long. There's sunshine for like 23 hours.
Well, if you go far enough, if you go north up through Baffin Island, there's a few weeks in the summer between maybe the middle of June and the middle of July where the sun never goes down. It just goes around in the sky, around and around and around.
That'd be so strange. So maybe there's a little bit of that here with the 2 colors and the star. But anyway,
Yeah.
number 1, you already know what it is, right?
I guess so. It's only going to leave New Brunswick.
It's New Brunswick. So, okay. I understand there's a big creepy line thing on the top. I don't like that. You guys already know that.
Yeah.
But the rest of the flag is amazing. And I was born in New Brunswick, so maybe a little biased opinion here. But I kind of don't feel like there is, because it is a nice flag. Like, you can't say that that's not a nice flag. The boat is awesome. The water, it's sailing with the oars. It's just cool. The colors are awesome.
I'm sure a lot of the different founding peoples of New Brunswick would want to claim that ship. I like to think of the ship as representing the ship that brought the first I guess, loyalist settlers to New Brunswick in 1784. And, excuse me, and the very late 1783, early 1784. Our ancestors were on a ship. Didn't look like that exactly. That's more of a cartoon kind of ship.
Yeah.
But from New York to New Brunswick. And the reason New Brunswick even exists, that whole territory used to be Sunbury County of Nova Scotia, when Nova Scotia was larger in territory. So many loyalists were being thrown out of the U.S. after the Revolution and sent to New Brunswick that they petitioned the king to take Nova Scotia, divide it into two, and make one of the two a new province called New Brunswick. And he did that. And so the founding of New Brunswick itself is because of a bunch of people that got there on ships. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it probably would still be just part of Nova Scotia.
So you do like this flag?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. It's not my favorite, though.
What's your favorite?
I think my favorite is Quebec.
Ah. So my favorite's the province that I was born in, and your favorite's the province that you were born in.
Must be something to that.
I like this flag. Actually, I love this flag. Born and raised in New Brunswick. I actually don't like New Brunswick very much. I like Fredericton. The rest of the province don't really care for. They call it No Funswick because there's nothing to do there, in my opinion.
Oh, no. Please be easy on the comments, folks.
I'm from there. I'm allowed to burn it. Just like I'm allowed to put PEI last because I live here now. So
okay.
Anyway, that's my list. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. It's completely subjective. You can have your own list, and please make that list down in the comment section. I'd love to see what you guys think of these flags. Specifically, pick a flag. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you don't like about it. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So thanks you so much for watching and listening to our silly commentary. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day. Subscribe if you're new. Like this video down below with the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.